Hey guys, welcome to Chemistry Hotspot. In this video, I'm going to discuss the topic stereochemistry. Stereochemistry, the name itself says stereo, which defines three dimension. The standard definition says the branch of chemistry which deals with the three-dimensional structures of molecules and their effect on physical and chemical properties is known as stereochemistry. Okay, fine. We have discussed the definition of stereochemistry, and the second thing we're gonna talk about is the classification. Classification of stereochemistry or the stereochemistry, how it is classified. We can learn this from these classifications. That is, first of all, isomerism. Isomerism is classified into structural isomerism and then stereoisomerism. So, the stereoisomerism plays its role here. It comes under the classification of isomerism. So, first let's learn what is isomerism. Isomerism are the compounds having same molecular formula. Compounds having same molecular formula but differ in their properties. Compounds having same molecular formula but differ in their properties are known as isomers. The phenomenon of this system is called as isomerism. So, isomerism, we have learned the definition of isomerism. So, here we learned that it has same molecular formula. So, the structural isomerism also have the same molecular formula and the stereoisomerism also have the same molecular formula. The property differed in case of structural isomerism is the structural properties. The structural properties will be varied. In this case, the three-dimensional arrangement of the molecules varies. Hence, the definition of stereoisomerism says the study of the three-dimensional arrangement of different molecules. Wherein the structural isomerism, here again we see the further classifications as chain isomerism, ring chain isomerism, position isomerism, functional isomerism, metamerism and tautomerism. And here under stereoisomerism we study mainly two types, that is conformational isomerism and the other one is configurational isomerism. Conformational isomerism or the isomerism which has the special orientation of a molecule which differ only in the dihedral angle and easily interconvertible through mechanical process. The mechanical process which involves the rotation of the molecules, and in this case there is no making or breaking of bond. There is no making or breaking of bond, just we do rotation so that the molecule's structure differs. Upon rotation the structure differs and gives the conformers. The conformers are called come under the conformational isomerisms. The different conformers we will study under the conformational isomerism. And here the configurational. The configurational isomerism opposite to this. That is, here it involves the making or breaking of bonds. Here it involves making and breaking of bonds. And the second is, here we don't rotate and all, just we will break the bonds so that the position of the atoms or molecules changes, gives rise to a different structure. So the formed structures, the isomer is called as configurational isomers, under which optical isomers and geometrical isomers we will see. Optical isomers are the isomers which differ, or we will focus on the optical activity. Based on the optical activity, the isomers are classified. In case of geometrical, there will be the geometrical structure properties. Geometrical, their structures, based on that, this classification will, based on this, the molecules will come under this classification. So that the optical and geometrical we will see upon in our next upcoming lecture. So here in this lecture I am gonna cover the main thing is the introduction part, as we learned the definition part of stereochemistry, and the classification, under what classification the stereochemistry comes, that I have already told that under isomerism there were two classifications. So stereoisomerism is one of the classification under isomerism, and within that we will see mainly two things, that is conformational and configurational. Under conformational isomerism we gonna talk different things about those things particular, and under configuration we learn these things. So the next thing we gonna talk is the representation of stereoisomers. Under stereoisomers there is two types of isomers we mainly study, that is one is conformational isomers, that is conformers, and the another one is the configurational isomers. Under conformers, to represent the molecules of a conformational isomers, we mainly use two representation. One is Newman projection, and the second one is Saur's projection. One is Newman projection and the second one is Saur's projection. Under configurational isomers we use the representation. The first one is Fischer projection and the second one is flying wedge projection. Flying wedge projection, or also called as wedge dash projection. So how we represent the stereoisomers? The number one method is there were mainly two types under each one. So totally it is four kinds, that is one is Newman projection, Saur's projection, Fischer projection and flying wedge projection. Let's learn what is Newman projection, what is Saur, and these things. First thing is Newman projection. I will take an example of a molecule CH3, H, F, and here deuterium, fluorine and CH3. So Newman projection is like we will view the molecule on a front view. So the molecule of the carbon atom, here we have the front carbon and the rear carbon. The front carbon, see this is the front carbon and this one is the rear or back carbon. So the key carbon atoms are superimposed to each other, and the with the small lines joining those carbon atoms we represent the other atoms attached to that one. So this is how the Newman projection, and this projection is an two-dimensional representation. And the second one is Saur's projection. In case of Saur's projection, we will represent the key carbon atoms. See these dots, I represent it, I use this as a carbon atoms. We represent the two key carbon atoms using a diagonal line. I represent these two carbon atoms, and this diagonal line is on the plane. To this carbon atom, three more groups are attached like this: CH3, H, F, and to this carbon atoms again three more groups are attached: D, E, F, CH3. So this is side view. Here in case of Newman, what we have observed is the front view. Just in front the molecule is observed. This In this case, it is a side view. Upon side view, we will observe the molecule. So here the key carbon atoms are joined through a diagonal line, and other the atoms are attached with a small lines. One is above the plane and here two below the plane, and in this case two above, one is below. So the diagonal line will be on the plane and other atoms will be above and below the plane. Hence this is three-dimensional representation. Under configurational isomerisms, to represent those to represent the conformational isomers, we use mainly Newman projection and Savar's projection. Newman is a two-dimensional representation, Savar's is a three-dimensional representation. And the next classification is the configurational isomers representation. The first one is the fixture. Here the representation consists of the horizontal and vertical lines. The intersection of these lines gives you the chiral center. So this is how you represent the fixture carbon atom, in which the chiral center should contain 4 different groups. As the definition itself, the chiral, it defines the chiral. So the center should be chiral, that it contains 4 different groups. In case of a chiral group, we can't represent it in the center place. We represent in the last or above. Achiral groups are represented at the last. So this is the fixture representation. It is also a two-dimensional representation. And the next is flying wedge representation, also called as wedge dash representation. See, this representation involves a wedge symbol, and this is the dash symbol. Here comes the wedge symbol and the dash symbol. Wedge means above the plane, that is towards the observer. Dash means below the plane, that is away from the observer. We represent a carbon atom consisting of 4 groups attached to it. As we know that carbon valence is 4. The 2 groups are attached on the plane, that is represented using normal lines. This is on the plane, and one is represented using wedge, and another one is the dash. These 4 are the representation for the stereoisomers. These 2 for conformational isomers, these 2 for configurational isomers. The next thing we're gonna learn is how to interconvert from one representation to the other. Well, before going to the interconversion part, let me explain one thing, that conformation and configuration, in both these, the bond rotation or the position changing of atoms, how it will be differ. In case of conformation, one bond, either a bond in a plane, you can take this or this. I consider this one because if I pass an axis through this, all these 3 atoms will be in equivalent to this position. So if I pass here, these 3 atoms will be rotated. This bond is kept constant. So one bond is kept constant, other 3 atoms are rotated. It will end up like this. A will come to E position, E will go to D position, and A come to E position, E will go to D position, and D go to A position. So like this it will come. In case of configuration, 2 bonds are kept constant. These 2 bonds will be kept constant, and these 2 will get interchanged upon configuration. So you will get a configurational change. See, in case of E, it goes D atom, and in case of D, it will come E atom. This is one have to say the conformation configuration, how the position of atoms differs. We'll learn how to interconvert flying wedge to fixture conversion. Let me take an example and explain this. For this, I will take a flying wedge molecule CH3 D Br. Now what you have to observe first is this plane of molecule, that is the line representing this, you consider it as a V shape. See, this will give you a V shape, right? So if this V shape is in left side. If the V shape is left side, while converting it to fixture, see only one chiral center is there. So one vertical line and one horizontal line. This V shape is left side, means the group. Well guys, if the bent is on left side, the above group will be present over left side. We will represent this over left side in the fixture projection. See, these lines, the normal lines, that is the groups on the plane, written as it is. H is above, so I written above, CH3 here below. And the bent is on left side, so I will be writing the above placed, the group which is on above the plane kept under the left side, and D remains here. If the bent will be on right side like this, if the bent is on right side, then I will write it like, if it is in left side means the above group will go to left side. If it is in right side means the group which is above the plane will go to right side. So BR comes here. H, the groups on the plane will be written in the vertical line. HD and CH3 come left side. Like this, we will convert flying wedge to fixture. To convert from Sauvers to fixture, first I will take an example of Sauvers. See, to convert Sauvers into fixture, we will be having a configuration, both will be same. Here it is opposite, like the two groups are in V above, here only one placed, and the V is in below, that is in trans configuration, right? We should make it to the same equivalent. So the first step is to make this carbon atom rotation. I will rotate this carbon atom such that I will get these two the V shape on above, and similarly this line to below. So for that I will rotate this. On rotation, how you will be get the configuration means, like this atom here is here, no, I will extend this line over here and I extend this line over here. So the atom which is present here will go to this position, and atom which is present here will come to this position, and F is, I write the F below the plane. So this is on the plane, these groups remain the same, and here I said the H group will go to this position. So here H, and Cl will come to this position, and F will be written down. So I have converted to this one step I have completed now. Now from this configuration to I will convert to fixture. Since two chiral center is there, so one vertical line, two horizontal lines. Now the groups which is below the plane will be considering, I will be write this in the vertical. See, the BR first one I get BR now here, so I will write the BR over here, and the fluorine I will write over here. Always the front carbon atom, see this is the front carbon atom of the Sauvers projection. No, the front carbon atom of the Sauvers projection will come to the last carbon of fixture projection. So only I am writing F here. Okay, you got it right. So now these groups I will be writing like, just imagine a line. So left side the line, whatever the groups which is placed left side the line will be written over left side. So this carbon atom as I already wrote the bromine atom, the left side which is fluorine and the right side is deuterium, and here the left side is hydrogen, the right side is chlorine. This is so you will convert a Sauvers projection into a fixture. The next thing is conversion of Newman to Sauvers. Newman to Sauer's. I will take an example. See, this is the front carbon atom. This is the back carbon atom. Don't get confused with this F and this. This F is for front. It indicates the front one. So we know that Sauer's consists of a diagonal line. I am writing the diagonal line, and write as it is. The front carbon atom contains these three groups, right? Write as it is. First one fluorine, deuterium, fluorine, and the back carbon atom contains HFBr. Like it is in this shape, no? To V is above and the line is below. So HFBr. As simple as that. Just you are extending these circles into a diagonal line. So you have converted to Newman to Sauer's projection.